Hey folks, it's Tom and FrugalPrepper. Today I want to talk about, it's been about 7 months on pure carnivore diet. Am I still diabetic? Am I still insulin resistant from all the saturated fat that I eat, which I see quite often in the comments? We'll talk about it. So I want to talk a little bit about my medical background and my keto journey. I used to weigh 458 pounds. I was on 300 plus units of insulin per day, plus metformin. My last bad A1C was in the 14s, and my highest A1C ever was in the 17s. I had a knee that needed replacement, but they wouldn't do it because I had diabetic ulcers on my legs. I had diabetic retinopathy, and then later I got macular edema and macular degeneration. I had to get expensive $2,000 eye shots every month, and they burned my retinas with lasers to try to stop the bleeding. I had a torn rotator cuff, and it also needed surgery. I had extremely high blood pressure, 250, 280 systolic, and I was on 5 blood pressure medications. I had the early stages of gout, and I had arthritis in my toes and my feet. I had all kinds of doctors and surgeons and ologists, but I felt like crap. Everything always hurt. I started the keto diet 5 years ago, and I'm now primarily carnivore. As of this morning, I have lost 201 pounds. I feel better than I did when I was 20. Nothing hurts. I have no leg ulcers. They've all healed. My knee and shoulder also feel fine. I'm on no medications, and I have no doctor because he dropped me for being a non-compliant patient. First, I want to say I'm not a doctor. I'm a network engineer and a mechanic. This video is based on my experience. It's really just for entertainment only. If you have any of these medical conditions that I talk about in my videos, you need to go see a doctor. It's gonna be a kind of a quick video, just off the cuff. I haven't made any notes. Am I still diabetic? I don't know. For those of you who are wondering if I quit the Diet Mountain Dew or not, I made it 2.5 days and I had to have a Diet Mountain Dew. I was getting angry, I was getting headaches, I was getting short-tempered, I was going through some real withdrawal. Not from the caffeine though, because I have plenty of caffeine. I had coffee, I had tea, I had copious amounts of coffee to try to deal with it, and it was not doing it. There's something in Diet Mountain Dew, I don't know. And so I had one, and I've kept it to 1 per day, which is better than the 3 or 4 per day I was having before. So next week I'm going to try again for 0 per day, and we'll see how it goes. About a month ago or so, I was at the amusement park with my sister and brother-in-law, and I was getting really hungry. I hadn't eaten since 5:30 that morning. It's now 10 o'clock at night. I fixed a bunch of cars, went and walked all around the amusement park, stood in long lines, you know. It was hot, and I was hungry, and they didn't have many choices, so I had a grilled cheese sandwich, grilled ham and cheese with some white gravy over it. And I knew, I shouldn't eat it, but I was hungry and I was eating. I wasn't walking back out to my car a mile away to get a stick of beef jerky. So I just went ahead and ate it. And my blood sugar didn't go up at all. Yesterday, I cleaned off my front porch and I emptied my potato pot where I grow potatoes. And I do grow potatoes because my wife and son still like a potato once in a while, and I don't like them to eat the Roundup potatoes that they have at the store because they spray the leaves with Roundup to kill them off, to make the plants go dormant for 2 or 3 weeks before they dig them up. Where I let my plants die back naturally and go dormant so the potatoes will store longer. And Roundup works by going to the roots of the plant, which are the tubers. So they're full of Roundup. I cut up a couple of those. I fried them in some bacon grease, really nice and golden brown, and I put some salt on them, some Redmond's real salt, made them nice and salty. I made 2 cheeseburgers with some shredded cheese, some shredded cheddar on it. I had pickles. I had avocado oil mayonnaise I make myself. It's my own mayonnaise recipe. I'll put a link to the video up here where I made it. I had some dill pickles, and I had a handful of raspberries that I picked off my back raspberry bush, and I had a chocolate chip cookie afterwards, just a square one, and it's one that my wife made. It's real butter, there's no seed oil in it. And I ate it, and it was delicious, and it was great, and it was a wonderful treat. It's the first time I've really just ate it. You know, when I've had another choice, you know, like the grilled cheese sandwich, I didn't have any good choices there to eat, and I was hungry. But I have plenty of good stuff to eat at home, but I chose to eat that. You know, that's literally my first major cheat in 6 or 7 months. And I went ahead and checked my blood sugar every half hour for the next 3 hours. I think 113 was my top reading, and it ended up, that last one was 98. So am I diabetic? Nope, I am not diabetic. How is that possible? So many people have left comments on my videos talking about how it's the saturated fat that makes you insulin resistant. It's the saturated fat. It's the saturated fat. It's not the saturated fat. In the 1900s, when we ate tons of saturated fat, before they invented seed oils, when we just went and got big chunks of bacon and ham and meat and ate them, nobody was diabetic back then. Nobody was fat and overweight back then. If that was the case, they would have all been diabetics. It's not the saturated fat that makes you diabetic. You can say it might be oil. I honestly believe that seed oils poison the cell membranes and can cause some insulin resistance. Absolutely. And I think another big part of that is weight gain. You put on enough weight, you do become less able to take up sugar into your fat cells because they're full. Now, you would think that that's all carbohydrates you're eating. It's all because you're eating potatoes and rice and pasta and breads. That's part of it. It can be part of it. But the main thing is high fructose corn syrup that they put in all of the soda pop now. They put high fructose corn syrup in everything. Fructose has to be turned into fat and stored by the liver before it can be used by your body. Your body has no ability to use fructose directly in the cells. When you eat something that turns into glucose, your cells at least have a chance to absorb it and use it. Then what's left over, what they don't absorb, has to be processed and turned into fat. But they get a chance to go and use it first. With fructose, they don't. So now you have people who are drinking real Coke with high fructose corn syrup that they started using in like the 70s or 80s, right? They changed from the old formula, which was just regular sugar, which is half fructose, half glucose. And they just made it high fructose corn syrup. And then we really saw the weight epidemic like slam up. That's a big part of it. Seed oils are a big part of insulin resistance too, I believe. So when you cut out those two things, you'll become less insulin resistant. What's an easy way to do that? Just eat meat. Just eat meat. Eat meat, eat saturated fat, eat butter, eat tallow, eat, cooking bacon grease, lard, rendered duck fat. Cook with real oils. Real animal-based oils. Yeah, you can cook in some olive oil, but olive oil has some kind of toxic things that happen when you heat it. You can cook in avocado oil, but it gets a little toxic when you heat it up too high too. So I prefer to cook in real animal fats. And I'm obviously no longer diabetic. Now, if I keep eating those carbohydrates every day, am I going to get fat and diabetic? Yeah, eventually I am going to get fat and diabetic again. Because that's what happens. That's what happens. But no, I would say that I'm not diabetic anymore. I can eat sugar. I can eat carbohydrates. Not necessarily pop with fructose in it, not necessarily like really highly refined sugars and carbohydrates, but I can eat some normal carbohydrates and my body is fine. So a lot of people just left all this advice for me on that video that I made about my diabetes. And when I was saying like, I fast and my sugar goes high, I was saying that as an example of a question that I get, and that used to happen to me in the beginning. It doesn't happen to me anymore. I can fast. I just choose not to because I'm still losing weight and getting healthier, and I don't like hunger. I don't like to be hungry. So I'm not hungry. I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry. I am going to have to eat soon. I'll be home in a few hours. I'll eat that. Now, after those, after hours go by, you'll get hungrier and you'll be like, I'm really hungry. I need to really eat something, right? And then you're sitting at the park watching your sister and your brother-in-law eat carbohydrates, sitting there thinking I'm hungry. And they say, you're eating a grilled cheese sandwich. It happens. As long as you keep those things very rare, and as long as you still have the ability to not fall completely off the wagon, you just jump off the wagon for a split second, hop right back on. I think that that's okay after you've done this for a while. But if it's gonna trip you up, make you fall off the wagon for 3 weeks and eat bags of tater chips, then absolutely do not do it. That's dangerous for you. And in the beginning, if I would have done that, I would have had a much bigger tendency to backslide. But I have to say, for eating carbohydrates, I didn't get hungry again in 3 hours. I wasn't hungry until breakfast this morning, and I had some eggs and a piece of steak. And then, I didn't get hungry till a little bit ago. So, it's just different now. But if I keep eating that way, I would go right back to it, right? So it's important not to keep eating that way. And I don't want to go blind. That's why I don't eat that way. But that's all I got, folks. I don't think I'm still diabetic. I don't think saturated fat causes diabetes. If you just use your brain, use a little common sense. When did people start becoming diabetic? Well, it's when we started introducing refined grains, and then we went through this explosion of diabetes where we said, oh, cholesterol is bad. Eat less saturated fat. Have some good canola oil instead. And this is cholesterol free, and these brownies are cholesterol free, and these cookies are cholesterol free, and they start putting cholesterol free logos on everything, and people start eating bags of cookies like, oh, these are cholesterol free, they're good for me. We even had those chips with the fake fat on them that would give you the poops. I forget what that was called. I accidentally bought a bag of those one time and I ate them, and I spent the next 3 hours on the toilet. Holy crap. Olestra or something, I think it was called. and so they're feeding us all these seed oils that are really bad for us. And those are what is causing this diabetes epidemic. And then they've doubled down on high fructose corn syrups and corn and everything, refined carbohydrates. Just everything in the grocery store that comes in a box has a bunch of that in it, and you just can't eat it. And they're never going to stop trying to say it's healthy in some way, putting something on the front of the box that says, oh, only 2 grams of net carbs or low fat or whatever, to try to make it sound healthy to get people to pick it up and buy it. Because Nestle can't make any money when you buy bacon, beef, eggs, butter, even some low carb veggies. Those things come more locally from other people. They don't come from Nestle. They don't come from Nabisco. They don't come from General Mills. Right? They can only make money on refined stuff that they can put in a box and it has a 1-year shelf life. Right? And so they have to use all kinds of preservatives and chemicals, seed oils, and just really bad stuff to make that food. And eating that is what's making you sick. Right? So that's all I got. And again, I think carnivore is just a really easy way to do this, but there's nothing wrong with a good clean keto diet that includes some low carb veggies either. I will say, I was hungrier and I had a tendency to fall off the wagon more often on keto than on carnivore. All right, that's all I got, folks. I'll talk to y'all later. It's Tom, your Frugal Prepper.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.